match with Coolidge. We're having some technical difficulties with our referee this afternoon. He's running a little late, so tonight is senior night for our seniors here at Arizona Common Prep. We are going to recognize our 6 seniors and their parents. And before we really get started, I just want to say how much I appreciate these seniors for the 4 years of commitment that they put in towards our program. They've had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. Testing. All right, and I really appreciate everything that they've done to help build our program. We're going to miss them tremendously. They've done so much to help build this program to where it's at today. And hopefully they will come back and visit us. We just talked in the room to them about that we're a family for life, and they're going to have some things going on probably in the future. They're going on to college, and they're going to have challenges, and that's what we're here for. We're here for them to reach out to us, and we hope that they feel comfortable doing that. So we're going to start by waiting. All right, our first one is Sebastian Rochin. The seniors, they fill out a form. There's a form that they fill out, and we used to read it. Mr. Nicholas or I used to read it in the past. But last year we had our seniors actually read through the form, and it seemed a little more personable and kind of touching. So we're going to continue that tradition of having our seniors read the form. Hopefully the mic will last until Mr. Nicholas brings another one.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Rochin, and I'm graduating this year. And here I have my mom and my sister here coming to accompany me. And here I have my plans for graduation after high school. After high school, my plan is to go to GCCC, CGCC, and do a 2-year transfer to ASU, study for my business major. For my special message for my mom and dad, I want to say thank you for everything you've done. Coming back here, back and forth, we live far away and I know it's hard. I just want to say thank you for helping me and supporting me along the way and letting me wrestle this year despite COVID troubles and, everything that holding us back. And I just want to thank you. Gracias. For my life goal, I thought a really good one was one that Coach has been telling us. All these 4 years I've been wrestling, it was your body can do more than your mind is telling you to. Because that's really helped me out throughout all these 4 years, and it applies more than just wrestling. I've had troubles in my personal life as well as
up, we have Helen Gibson. All right, here's Helen Gibson.
Hi, I'm John Gibson. After graduation, I plan to attend Johns Hopkins University and major in biology with assist in medical studies. Special thanks for message from my mom and dad is, I really want to thank them for all the rides and unconditional support for my wrestling career. You're always there for me, at my big wins and also my freshman fees. Thank you for your support. I love you both. My life quote is, an arrow can only be shot that's not backward. When life is dragging you back, the difficulties and things going to launch you to something great. So just focus and keep aiming.
All right, we have one more left over there, but we have one that could not be here tonight with us, and I do want to recognize Emery Robles. Emery's been with the program, just like all these guys, since their freshman year or longer. He began in his freshman year, and he's had a tremendous career, both wrestling on the mat and also in the classroom. Been very successful, like all these guys have, and we're going to miss Emery Robles also. So our last one is Ian Boo. He's missing his parents this evening, so the team is actually going to kind of walk down with him. Coach Linsky. All right, Ian.
My name is Ian Fu. Unfortunately, my parents couldn't come here, so I have a couple of my seniors. Solid. So I've got a couple of my senior friends. We have Sebastian, Connor, Ryan, Ellen, and Ben. I got Coach Linson right here, Coach Linson too. So after high school, I plan on going to ASU and dedicate myself to the Air Force ROTC if I'm accepted. During that time, I'll be undecided because I'm not too sure what I want yet. So during that time, I'll be figuring out what my passion is. So even though my parents aren't here, I would still like to acknowledge them. So along with that, thank you for supporting me in every sport I've done throughout my high school career. You two have pushed me and encouraged me in this sport so much that I appreciate you guys for that. Although I do really want the rest of this year, I do respect your decision to keep the family safe, but it just sucks with all COVID happening and stuff that we just didn't get what we wanted. So, however, since we are all here, I would like to thank the rest of the team as well, especially the coaches too, and you guys. And you guys have made wrestling one of my most enjoyable sports, and respect, honor, dedication, and many more has been learned more than just this one sport. And even though I can't wrestle this year, you guys, the whole wrestling team, and the coaches, still made me feel like wrestling part of the team. Without it, I just really appreciate you guys for that. And another point is visualization is so powerful that when you know what you want, go get it. And just even when I'm at home watching streams, I just still visualize myself as being there with the team, and it just feels so great. Well, not really, because it's so sad. I want to be with them, but that's just a respect for me. Thank you.
All right, let's give one last big hand for these 6 seniors and all the work that they've been doing for 4 years. Thank you, guys.
And now wrestling for girls varsity, Christina Chow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ACP Wrestling. We are going to start tonight with our girls wrestling with Christina Chavez wrestling first. She will be the only female wrestler wrestling tonight. Fortunately, we got a late start tonight, but we will get things rolling here pretty quickly. Here we go. The wrestlers shake hands. We got a tie-up at the front. Both wrestlers seem to be engaged in a tie-up here. We got a shot attempt by Coolidge. There we go. Christina goes in for an outside single. Looks like she's going to work behind and possibly she brings it, she's got 2 points for the takedown. Looking for a mat return here so we can get some near fall points. The ref had called for locked hands on the top. That is an illegal move. Typically in a situation like that, they would give the bottom wrestler a chance to do a free move and get out of that. Fortunately for ACP, they stoppage and play. So it's going to be a 2-1 match right now. Christina was still in the top position here. And here we go. Stepping up, working to the tripod, to quad pod. Now wrestler from Coolidge is on their feet. We need Chavez to bring the mat return here. If she doesn't, she could be cautioned for stalling. Usually refs will give some time for the top wrestler to try to get a safe mat return. There we go. We got Christina, brought her back down. Learned her lesson from the locked hands. Looks like she's going to run that cross-face cradle here. She's going to have to run those legs, though, to make sure that we get that cradle. Bottom wrestler is not doing a whole lot, so they may be cautioned for stalling as well. Top wrestler throwing that cross-face. That's a good cross-face there. There we go. Christina needs that cross-face, and she needs to drive that face to the other knee. There we go. Maybe she could work a claw in here. Possible butcher from this situation as well. But she really wants that cradle. She's going to have to drive those legs and make the other opponent kiss the knee. Get those hands locked up. Then she's going to have to jump sides, get hip to hip, and pull back. But the Coolidge wrestler is pretty strong, and they are fighting off that cradle pretty hard. In this situation, grabbing an ankle would be great, but we want to kit that bottom wrestler down, not allow them to their base. So Christina's doing a really good job at looking like she might get that cradle locked up. In this stage, folks, we really need to pressure with those legs and start driving. And that's the end of the first period. We have Chavez from ACP up 2-1. Coolidge wrestler defers usually in a situation like this, and our team would like to choose bottom. That's probably the most successful opportunity to score points. A little discussion going on between the coach and the wrestler. And I think we are going to choose neutral on this one. Oh, nope. She chose top. So she's going to try to ride it out and maybe get her turn this period. And here we go. Start of period 2. All right, we need to chop and break that base down. There we go. Now we're really going to have to work those legs and drive with that crossface if we want to get that cradle locked up. Bottom wrestler reaching back. That's a good opportunity for Christina to jump sides and run a half Nelson. There we go. I think we got locked hands again. Technical violation. So now we've got a tie match here, 2-2. Christina Chavez with the first takedown. Unfortunately, has given up 2 technical violations to locked hands. You cannot lock hands when you're around the waist or body when you're on top. It looks like Coach Huffman is signaling to Chavez to lift the ankle and break her down. And there we go. She's going to. Bottom wrestlers wants to build a base and try to do a stand-up or an escape. There she goes. She's quad-potted up, and she now escapes and takes the lead 3-2. So Christina Chavez is going to need to get a takedown to regain the lead. We've got a strong tie-up with both wrestlers. Coolidge wrestler seems to be leaning a lot. That would be a great opportunity to do a snap down. Instead, we're going to try a throw. In this situation, we would encourage a wrestler to circle in front. Fortunately for the ACP, we got the 2 takedown, but the throw was successful, and now Coolidge gets the pin. And like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen out there, typically when you get into a throwing position as a defender person, you need to circle in front of that wrestler. That will take away the momentum and throwing ability of that wrestler. So good work on Coolidge. Some things for ACP to work on for the next match. And that will conclude our female wrestling for the night. We, unfortunately, this year, due to COVID and the smaller numbers in the female wrestling, we've only got 1 wrestler from Coolidge that came up all the way up from the south to wrestle with us today. So we really appreciate that.
At the weight 106, Gabe Huffman.
Next up for ACP is Notre Dame Prep. They come from Scottsdale, Arizona, and they are a very short team again. There's, I believe, only 4 wrestlers that will be wrestling. So ACP most likely we should be able to wrestle tonight.
And now accepting his forfeit at the weight 113, Sebastian Rochen.
So ACP will take a 108 forfeit with Gabe Huffman getting 6 points. So Sebastian Rochen took the forfeit at 113. This year it's a 115 with a 2-pound allowance. Next we have Ben Klutwick wrestling at 120. Unfortunately, it will be another forfeit. So we'll have to wait a little bit of time here to get some action, folks. So just bear with us. Ben Klutwick and Sebastian Rochen, by the way, happen to be 2 of our senior wrestlers. Unfortunately, won't be able to wrestle on their last night at ACP, but the season is not over. We still have next week against Cortez High School. And after that, we have sectional tournament and state. So hopefully we're going to be bringing a lot of wrestlers up to state this year. Now we had Nate McMahon wrestling 126, getting a forfeit as well. So now the ACP for the dual meet has 24 points to 0 for Notre Dame. Now, here comes the infamous Nate Huffman, AKA Nate Buffman. He is stepping out. Nate is a junior. He is also the coach of Coach Huffman as well. Solid wrestler, so far undefeated on the season. Last week, or actually last night, went up against a higher weight opponent. And Nate became victorious out of that as well. So that was great for our team and great for Nate. So hopefully he continues this streak of unbeaten right here, wrestling back at his original weight class. Both wrestlers seem to engage in a tie-up. Nate's going to work to try to control the elbow and work his move. Now you'll notice wrestlers are going to circle and go side to side before they try to shoot to set up a good shot. Nate will work in. He's got the elbow, and a great whizzer by Notre Dame, but the ref has awarded 2 points because Nate has gotten around and behind in a scoring position. So now what Nate needs to do is use that arm that he has and work that. Notre Dame's trying to quad pod stand back up. Huffman stays with him and brings him back to the return. Should be getting some near fall, but nothing was counted. Too quick, Notre Dame was able to roll through. Now cross wrist series here. Nate's gonna suck that in. Probably look for a ball and chain here. And then possibly work for a tilt or claw under. Looks like he's going for the tilt, folks. He's gonna pull him in the lap, elevate the leg, and start counting near fall now. Now, once he holds to a 5 count, he'll earn 3 points and have to reset to possibly get another pinning combination or another near fall combination. And there he goes. Now he's reset, another position change, which allows him to get another 5 count, which is another 3 points. In this position, Nate is a little bit more possible to get a pin out of this. So he's got to get chest heavy on there. He's going to inch up slowly. He's got plenty of time with 34 seconds left on the clock. And he's got to get off that left knee. There he goes. He set that knee. And another good thing is there he goes. He's going to reach around, try to scoop that head and lift up to drop those shoulder there. Fortunately for Notre Dame, he's able to roll through, but Nate Huffman scores another 3 points, which should make it 8-0. Again, going for that inside cross wrist. He's going to drive through. Try to get maybe a 2 count before the end of the period. There we go. We got it. 2 count. Not enough time on the clock there, folks, to get 3 points for 5-second near fall, but he did get the 3 count, which equates to 2 points near fall. So the correct score right now is our scoreboard showing 7-0, but I believe it should be 9-0. We had a takedown, 2 5-count near falls, which that equates to 3 and 3. That's 6 plus the 2, that's 8. Yeah, because we had 2 near fall, 3 points, 3 points, 6 plus the takedown, 8. And then we got the 2-point near fall, so it should be 10. There we go. Nate got the escape there and a reversal, so that is a 2-point move. Again, that cross wrist is a very successful move to break down the opponent and start looking for various pinning combinations or near fall points. Looks like he's going to try to reach through for that ball and chain move again. This time, yep, he's still got that tilt with the elbow up. He's going to set it in his lap, pull back, and he's going to have to elevate that leg to keep the wrestler's back exposed to the mat. There he goes. Now he has a reverse bar arm. If he walks and circles around towards the head, he may be able to get it. There he goes. There he goes. He's circling. Now he's going to have to drop his chest, lift the head. Fortunately for the Notre Dame prep wrestler, he's able to avoid that. There we go. Now, if you notice the wrestler's hips, he's going to want to keep his hips behind the opponent's hips, or otherwise he could become too heavy, which would make him a little bit unbalanced and easier for the opponent to slide out underneath that. But Nate's doing a pretty good job at keeping his balance. Looks like he's broke down the Notre Dame wrestler again, and he's going to try for that near fall tilt again. There he goes. Now he's got to, he can't elevate that leg. He's got to hook that leg in order to elevate and get that near fall. Instead, looks like he's going to reach around for the claw under and possible pin here. He's going to pull a reverse half. Again, squeeze and lift the head, and he will easily get those shoulders to drop. Looks like Nate is trying to work his arm around. There he goes. He's going to get chest heavy and apply a lot of pressure on top of that opponent to get the pin. And it does drive, and he got it right as the whistle, folks. Nate Huffman with the pin with the final seconds, literally down to a split second. And Nate comes away victorious again to keep his unbeaten season going through strong. A good fight by Notre Dame prep. Next up, we have a freshman wrestling varsity named Drew Devine. Drew Devine is going to be taking a forfeit, earning his team another 6 points. So far, if ACP can keep this streak going with 6 points, that is a perfect score so far.
And now, forfeit at the weight 145, Connor Cantrud.
Unfortunately, Connor Cantrud, another senior, will not be able to display his talents here for his last home meet of the season. But we do look forward to him wrestling next week and for sectionals and possibly state. Connor's had a really good solid season from starting off as a freshman all the way up to last year, working hard to become varsity. Again, folks, our wrestling team is staggered with different age groups. Another young wrestler, Ryan Harding, coming out to get another 6 points for a forfeit at 152. Look forward to seeing Ryan wrestling for another 2 more years after this year. All right, here we go. Andrew Stevens, one of the 3 Stevens we have on our wrestling team. His brother Baruch is actually out today, so Andrew's gonna be wrestling in his place. His sister Becca Stevens, female wrestlers today to wrestle. Now Drew is a junior who also plays football and does track and field. He's had a pretty good season so far. Here we go, we're tying up with Notre Dame. A little hard here with them having similar colors of the purple, of the ACP purple. We bleed that. But we should easily be able to tell tonight with the ACP wrestler in a singlet, and Notre Dame has opted to use the optional wrestling uniform with the shorts and the compressed t-shirt. There goes Andrew, controlling that elbow, trying to get in there now. He's switched to a double and drive. There we go. There's 2 points. Now, typically when a wrestler leaves that overhead hang arm over the head, we could immediately swim up and get a half. But that is a very quick adjustment you'll need to make mid-takedown. So Andrew just missing that opportunity there. But it looks like he's going to bar up the arms. He's going to have to do a safe mat return here. And they're forced off the mat, which means the Notre Dame prep wrestler will take the bottom position. We are at the 160-pound weight class now. The ref tonight is being very particular with the lining up and positioning for the start position of each period. Not sure what's going on here. There seems to be an issue with the mask. All right, yeah, it's very important Andrew stays on the mat. During an official timeout, you are not allowed to leave the mat. You should stay on your mat. Another thing, folks, if you're curious, is wrestlers that remain on the mat at all times during the match, and when they are finished, they need to make sure their uniform is properly secured until they exit the mat. So at the end of the match, if a wrestler does happen to take off a side of his singlet, and usually wrestlers will do that after a match, they can have a technical violation for taking a singlet down during a match. Okay, looks like we're going to resume action. Looks like the mask issue was already fixed. All right, Andrew's main goal here. How did we get locked hands when we had a wrist? I do not understand. I think it might help if the referee could maybe bend down and observe that we had a cross wrist on that. If you have the wrist at the waist and you have that control, you are allowed to lock hands in that position. So I believe that was an errant call on the referee. Again, I could be biased because I'm coach. Now, the Notre Dame prep can be cautioned for fleeing the mat in that position, in that situation. If he runs off in that again like that, I'm pretty sure the ref will caution him and possibly point him if he does it again. All right, there we go. Andrew's going to break him down. Now this is where you need to start working for your near fall and pinning combinations. There we go. Andrew's going to keep that pressure on heavy, try to break down that base again. The Notre Dame prep seems to be pretty strong and able to bounce back up to that base pretty quickly. However, over time, during a match of 6 minutes total, building that base becomes very difficult, especially if the top wrestler keeps the pressure on. Now it looks like Andrew is going to perform what we call our yeehaw move, which is an arm bar where we circle around towards the head to try to expose the back. Now what he's going to need to do is break those hips down. There we go. Very ill-advised move by Notre Dame prep to try to roll out of that. But it is also a very compromising position to be in, and nobody wants to be there for any given time. So the Knights had the choice, and we have chose to defer, and the Notre Dame prep has chose to go neutral. The strategy here is that Notre Dame's looking for a takedown so they can get their 2 points, but currently they're down 4-1, with Andrew getting the 2 points and the near fall, and 1 technical violation point against Andrew, and Notre Dame is down 4-1. Now it looks like Andrew's going to get heavy on that head. Not something we really work on, try to get around that head like that. But a stoppage in action due to headgear, and it looks like equipment. So back to the neutral position, they start. Now this year with the mask rules and AIA rules, we are trying to keep the best with the mask on. However, when the referee sees mask come down or equipment come off, they will stop the match if there is a pause in action. However, they will try to keep action going and try to keep that from happening. However, mask will come off in a physical contact sport like this. Andrew's going to try to do a sucker drag. Instead, he's able to chase that ankle and looks like he's going to get around. He's got to break that whizzer, and he's going to score 2 points now. Now again, the Notre Dame wrestler has pretty strong base there. You can see he keeps coming up to that base with the knees up. Really hard to get any kind of combination there, but Andrews are able to break him over, start near fall, and now he just needs to work. There we go. We're going to keep that perfect string of 6 points every match with another pin. And again, Andrew wins in the second period. Good work, Andrew Stevens. Now, folks, I'm going to let you know right now, this is really hard for me not to scream and yell like I usually do because I am the varsity coach as well. And tonight, because it is senior night, I felt the need to commentate and help you guys understand a little bit more about wrestling. So I will keep my composure. All right, next up is the 170-pound weight class.
170, Cameron McDonald.
And now we have Cameron McDonald coming out to get another 6 points for the Knights for a forfeit at 170. Cameron is a junior and has been wrestling very well. This is his second year on varsity. He's a very athletic wrestler, and we look forward to having him for the rest of the season and next year as well. All right, now we have the younger Gibson coming out. Caden is an outstanding freshman wrestler with an undefeated streak, not only just due to the forfeit tonight where he gets the team another 6 points, but Caden has been undefeated this year, wrestling some very, very strong upperclassmen and doing an outstanding job. Next, we have Carter Patton, a junior, also a football player. You'll notice a lot of these guys are football and wrestling, multi-sport and academically sound students. So Carter's going to get his show on the mat for another forfeit and another 6 points. Right now, folks, it's a little one-sided and a little lopsided here. It's 72-0 ACP. Now we have the #1 ranked wrestler in the state coming out as Kellen Gibson at 220. And going back to a little bit of Scottish roots, he's going to be wearing the kilt. Not for long, folks. He took the kilt off. Fortunately, he's wearing a singlet underneath that. And he comes out to some Scottish music, the Dropkick Murphys. Kellen's also been into the sea shanties lately, but now he still remains undefeated and #1 ranked wrestler in the state at 220. Kellen was a runner-up last year in the Division IV tournament, state tournament, placing second. This year, his aspirations are to get to the top of the podium and be the champion this year. And I think the only thing that can get in his way is Kellen himself. So we're going to hope he goes out and wrestles smart and gets another 6 points for the team right now. Looks like he's setting up that shot. He's going to have to clear that left arm to make sure he gets in smooth, drop his level. Playing a little tie-up and hand game here. Minute and 20 seconds left in the match, and it is 0-0 still. These upper weights, it's very meticulous. They got to take their time, set up everything correct. When you got that much muscle mass out there, it's a lot of energy being spent, and you don't want to waste it on unnecessary moves. So Kellen goes in for the outside single. He is going to look to table that leg, swim up, possibly look for the cradle on top of that. And we're going to try to keep them in bounds, but nope, they go out of bounds. So Kellen is up 2-0 with 55.8 seconds left in the first period. It is period 1. Yes, on our scoreboard it says period 2, but this is just still the first period. Again, the ref is being very particular about the mask and equipment today, which is good. Makes all of us wrestlers feel a little safer when we're paying attention to details. Now Kellen's going to again break him down. Again, our team focuses a lot on that cross wrist series, which helps us pick the inside ankle, and that will break down those wrestlers' hips. You can see it now that his hips are flat on the mat. Kellen's going to go for what we call a baseball arm bar. Might be working for the tilt here. There he goes. There we go. He should be getting near fall anytime here. There we go. The key thing here is to keep those hips out on top of your opponent and not lose that hold there. So we got 2 near fall, and it looks like we're going to get 1 escape for Notre Dame Prep. It should put us at 4-1. 15 seconds left in the match. Kellen's going to go in for a double leg, and he's going to finish with still 10 seconds left in the match. Kellen could possibly get some near fall here. Now he's down to 3 seconds, and we're just going to play it smart and just ride out here. Not worth putting yourself in a compromising position if there's only a few seconds on the clock. So the smart thing is to ride out the opponent and play it safe. We are now breaking in the second period, and Kellen Gibson has chose the bottom position. Like I said before, this is probably the most successful position to be in between periods because you have the easiest opportunity to score. And Kellen's going to look like he's going to try to sit out, stand up. Now he's going to have to do a stagger step and lower his hips so it makes it a little bit harder for the opponent to carry. And Kellen's going to get the 1 escape there. And it looks like the Notre Dame Prep wrestler is a little fatigued already. Kellen's going to get another takedown, and it is going to be 9-1. Now, right now, we're looking at a major victory with an 8-point lead. However, we would like to get that 6 points with a pin. So Kellen is going to run what we call thread the needle, where he lifts the head, and he's going to now settle a lot of heavy weight on top of that opponent. This is a very, very tough position, and Kellen Gibson is going to finish with a pin, keeping ACP's streak of 6 points each mat. That is 78 points to 0, folks. Again, a little hard to keep the game or the match close when you are bringing only 4 wrestlers. So Notre Dame Prep is giving a valiant effort here. And now we have another young wrestler, Nick Hutchins, our freshman. Typically in years past, this would be a student and wrestler that I would be wrestling in practice. Due to COVID this year, we are not allowed to have any contact with wrestlers. It is another challenge as a coach this year to show moves without actually wrestling with students and showing them. So Nick is going to go out there as a freshman wrestler. He's brand new to the sport, and he's stepped up to the occasion, wrestling last night the previous state champion from last year. And the match before, he wrestled the runner-up from state. So Nick has been really out there putting everything he's got on the mat and wrestling some really quality matches this year. So we're looking to see him improve, get stronger, and each match he has gotten better, and it is definitely shown. So what we're trying to do is get an underhook here. Now this is the heavyweight class. The heaviest you can be in this weight limit is 285 down to 221. Now this year with the 2-pound allowance, these wrestlers can get up to 222 for the 220 weight class. And for heavyweight, they can be 287. So it looks like Nick's gonna try the snatch up, and there we go, he rolls through. It rolls through. That is a very, very, very difficult thing to do as a heavyweight wrestler. Looks like Nick may get 2 points on the takedown. It did score 2 points. We got 45 seconds left in the match. We are going to try to lift that ankle and break him down. It seems like the team is on their feet as the team cheers Nick getting the first takedown. And now Notre Dame Prep gets an escape. It is 2-1. Like I said, folks, when you're this big and this much muscle, it is a lot of energy they are spending on the mat. You got not only your weight, but you also have another opponent that can weigh up to 285 pounds. That is over 500 pounds of pure muscle out there wrestling. A lot of energy and a lot of physics involved in this. So we need Nick to work on that snap and not fall back. Now he needs to get to his belly. All right, just in time. Looks like they're going to give 2 for the takedown. So it is a 3-2 match. This is very close going into the second period. The Notre Dame had choice and had deferred, which means now the ACP Knights gets the choice of top, bottom, and neutral. And it looks like Nick is going to choose top position. Now for a heavyweight, this is not a bad position to be in. Typically, like I said, we would start in the bottom position. But as I mentioned before, you have over 500 pounds of flesh out there. It's hard to move from the bottom. So what we need is Nick to circle back behind and break those hips down. There we go. The Notre Dame Prep is quad pod, come up to his feet. Nick brings him back down to the mat. Very good mat return in Nick's part there. Now Nick is going to try to run a power half. What he has to do is get off to the side and drive his feet. Now what's going on is he needs to break the hips back down. Again, not an easy task, but Nick is up to the challenge. All right, so Notre Dame Prep gets another escape. It is now 4-2 Notre Dame Prep. You can tell both individuals are very tired already, and we still have a minute left in the second period. Still 3 minutes of action in the match if we go all three. Nick does a great setup for a shot. Now he just needs to get to his feet and drive. He needs to drive with those feet. He needs to hold on that leg and suck it in. There he goes. Now he needs to jump to the other leg. So close. Missed opportunity. Looks like the ref is going to stop the action again. Like I said, if there's a pause because those two wrestlers separated momentarily, the ref will stop it for safety and putting on the mask. Even without the mask this year that we were wearing, if it was headgear or any other piece of equipment, the ref would also wait for a stoppage or pause in action to allow the wrestler to properly secure their equipment or mouthpiece or anything they need to do to be safe when they are wrestling. Now at this stage, both wrestlers are going to lean on each other pretty hard here when they're that fatigued. So it's about who wants it more and who has the best stamina. You'll notice also both wrestlers are standing very tall in wrestling. That is probably not a good position. However, because the Notre Dame Prep wrestler has been backing up, he has been cautioned for stalling. Now Green, due to backing up, has been cautioned for stalling. Now Coach Huffman's going to go out and challenge that. And the ref won't have any part of that. Which, again, Coach Huffman does have a legitimate argument there where our wrestler has made an attempt to shoot several chances, and the Notre Dame Prep has not shot once this entire match. So that is a good, valid argument by Coach Huffman there. I'm not trying to be biased because I'm a coach, but looks like Nick's gonna stay on top, break those hips down. We're at the start of the third period, and Nick Hutchins is down just by 2 points. If he could expose the Notre Dame Prep wrestler here to some near fall, he could possibly tie or take the lead. So he needs to run a good power half, but what I see is the bottom wrestler balling up and not making an attempt to move until now. So now he gets another point and he is up 3 points. It is 2-5 with only a minute and 25 seconds left in the match. Every second at this point, folks, counts. Again, Nick goes for another shot. But we are not getting any stalling on the Notre Dame Prep wrestler here. There we go, another shot attempt. Now we got a point awarded to ACP because the Notre Dame Prep has been backing up. So a takedown here could tie this up, folks. And we might be able to see a heavyweight match go into overtime. Now we just need him to pick it up. This is literally a match of who wants it more. And again, Nick goes for the shot, but unfortunately is not able to complete the shot and falls to his back, where Notre Dame is going to get the 2 for takedown and 3 for near fall, which is going to end in a pin. Like I said before, this is a lot of work to stay 6 minutes of wrestling. So Nick, that was probably his best match of the year. Lots of skill still needs to be developed, but again, first-year wrestler, we are looking forward to having him for the next 3 more years. Good job, Knights. Unfortunately, that last victory gives the Notre Dame Prep 6 points, which ends our streak of the perfect score. Tonight, we will finish as a team score of 78-6. Great job on all the other wrestlers, and hopefully we get to see some more action next week and for sectionals. Thank you for tuning in tonight. If you guys would like to see this match, you'll stay up here on Sports 360, and it will be archived here as well, so you can visit this site and watch any of our matches from today or previous matches. Thank you and have a good night.